Welcome to your flow class for hamstrings. Today we're going to start sitting in Dandasana. So with your legs spread out in front of you, pressing against the floor, activate your feet by pointing your toes to the sky and place your hands on either side of your hips. Here you can press your hands or fingers into the floor as you lift the chest. Keep your eyes closed and come back to your breath to center yourself. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And notice the state of the back of your legs. Notice if your hamstrings are tight. From here, we're going to move into Paschimottanasana. We're going to start by raising our arms and hands towards the ceiling, getting a good stretch here and really elongating our trunk. Once we have a long trunk, we can fold forward and bring our hands to our shins. And if we have more flexibility, we could even go ahead and grab our feet. So staying here for a few breaths, allowing the backs of the legs to relax a little bit more. Take a deep inhalation, lift the sternum, and on the exhale, fold forward even more. From here, you can raise your trunk back again. Place your hands on either side of the hips, coming back into Dandasana. Take a moment to feel the effects of the posture on the back of the legs before releasing. From here, we're going to move into our tabletop position. So we want to make sure that our wrists are aligned with our shoulders, that we're really pressing our hands into the floor, and that our knees and our hips are also aligned. From here, we're going to stretch that right leg out behind us, pressing the heel towards the floor and simply rocking back and forth here. The more we press the heel towards the floor, the more we get a stretch at the back of the leg, especially at the calf here. Have fun with the posture and simply go at your own pace. If you feel like you need to hold the stretch, go ahead, hold it for a few breaths. We want to slowly warm up the body here. Bringing the right leg back for table, we're going to stretch the left side now. So stretching the leg out behind us, the ball of the foot on the floor, and pressing the heel back and forth. You can choose to increase the stretch on every exhale and move forward on each inhale, as you can choose to hold the stretch for a few breaths. Great, so holding once again, pressing that heel towards the floor and coming back into tabletop position. Realigning your wrist with your shoulders here, tuck the toes under, bring the buttocks back to the heel, and bring the knees off to the floor, transitioning into downward dog here. Here we're going to pedal back and forth, so bending one knee at a time and pressing the opposite heel towards the floor. Finding once again a stretch at the back of the legs. We want to make sure here that we're really pressing our hands into the floor, finding a lot of space in the armpit area. And now we're going to press both heels towards the floor and bend both knees, bringing the thighs to the chest and extending back again. So from here, just going into the bent knees and stretching the backs of the legs. And now we're going to lift that right leg up for three-legged dog, bend the knee, and travel the foot through to place it in between the hands at the front, coming into a lunge here. Drop that left knee to the floor, turn the foot over, and from here press into the front foot as you raise the chest and the arms up overhead. You can even look up at your hands here. Now swan dive down. Grab your blocks if you need them. Place them just behind your foot, pressing your hands into the blocks. Bring your hips back and straighten that front leg. From here, raise the toes up to the ceiling as you press into the heel and press your hands into the blocks to raise your chest. So work on straightening that front leg. If ever you need to bend the knee slightly, it's no problem at all. From here, we're going to travel the hips forward once again. We're going to tuck that left foot under, raise the knee off the floor, going into our pyramid pose here. So we're going to stretch that front leg and we're going to adjust the blocks so that we have our wrists and our shoulders aligned here. We're just going to push the fingers into the blocks, raise the chest as we inhale, and on the exhale we can fold forward even more. So we want to work on straightening both legs here. We want to push back through the thighs and bring the back heel towards the floor. From here, inhale once again as you raise the chest, bend into the front knee, and raise both arms up overhead, coming into your warrior one here. So once again, pressing that back heel into the floor and raising the hands up towards the ceiling. Holding here for a few breaths and then swan diving down once again, bringing your hands to the blocks and coming back into a lunge before dropping the left knee to the floor and turning the left foot under. You could place your blocks aside here and bring your hands straight to the floor as you transition back into downward dog. If you like, you can pedal it out once again. Take this opportunity to compare both sides. And finish off by pressing both heels towards the floor. We're going to move into the other side. So left leg goes up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog, and travels through to the front between both hands, coming into your lunge. Grab your blocks once again and drop that right knee to the floor, turn the foot under, and with your hands on your blocks, raise your hands towards the ceiling. Feel that stretch here in the thighs. Inhale, exhale, swan dive down. Bring your hands to the blocks and stretch out the front leg. Work on straightening that leg and pushing through the heel. Make sure your hips are symmetrical here. So we want to work on bringing that left thigh back or left hip back and bringing the right hip forward. Take a deep inhalation as you bend the front knee. And tuck the right foot under, lift the knee off the floor. We're going to move into pyramid once again. So unbending the front knee, both legs are straight here, and adjusting our blocks so that we can push our hands into the blocks and really straighten the back. Really push into the heel of the back foot. Deep inhalation, lift the chest, and on the exhale, fold forward even more if you can, with option to stay in the half posture with a straight back. Take another deep inhalation as you raise the sternum. Bring your blocks towards the front and bend into that front knee, coming into your warrior one here. Activate the arms and try to touch the sky here. Press into the back heel. Inhale, exhale, swan diving forward, bringing your hands to your blocks once again, or to the floor, coming back into downward dog. Notice how your body feels in this moment, particularly your hamstrings. From here, you're going to lower your knees to the floor, untuck the toes, spread the knees far apart, big toes together, buttocks to heels, coming into Adho Mukha Virasana here. So really stretching the arms out in front of you and placing your forehead onto the floor as you come back to your breath. From here, bring your hands closer to your chest, push your hands into the floor, and slowly come back into seated position, positioning your hands on your thighs. And just taking a moment here to notice the effects of the practice today. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I hope this helped to loosen up the back of your legs. I wish you a wonderful day. Namaste.